The game was very realistic, very serious, and still the anime has realistic story, but very bombastic visuals, and that's, I think, one of the most original mixes you can see.
It fulfills a quite different role than a video game, because in the video game, it's all about the immersion and the power fantasy of being in Night City, where for the show, we explore things and topics that were not possible in that specific experience of a video game.
As for who Edgerunner is, for me it was always a pirate, a rebel pirate that wants to fight with the system.
Yeah, somebody that tries to win his personal freedom. Because in this world, it's pretty obvious that nobody's going to change the world fundamentally. But what cyberpunks are fighting for is to carve out a very small piece of the world around them where they can be themselves and have the freedom for their own actions and for the loved ones that they have.
In our game, we have this kind of progression prepared for the player, and we basically focus mostly on the weaponized cyberware, right? Something that enhance your power and your abilities. You in the game, you want to become a superhuman. On the anime, on the other hand, we can explore more a bit this social aspect of cyberware, like focus on something that was not super important in the developments through in the game for the player, but is important for the regular people living in the city.
Yeah, I think that the game is all about immersion. And the anime is more concerned about being believable as a world of cyberpunk.
What I love in the show is that Trigger literally took our cyberpunk city and everything that we designed really seriously, and they simply elevated everything in a very stylized manner. You see cyberware, there's going to be way more. You see gore, way more. Fun, more. Beautiful designs, city, more.
Trigger loved Cyberpunk 2077. They loved playing the Cyberpunk. I remember the moment that they came to us and said, "We love hollow fish." And you will see it in the anime. They look exactly like the one we have in the game. And it was super cool that Trigger was falling in love with some elements of the game.
Literally, every single frame is a painting. Chase scene, moon scene, activation of Sandevistan, the gore scenes, like each moment is important and each moment is made out of hundreds of frames of paintings, actually, yeah?
The tones are similar, but there are much more colors, much more flair, much more everything. So it's a game elevated to something amazing.
Every single painting has some experience that you'll be able to discover and enjoy. And that makes me watch more, yeah? I'd like to experience this journey.
We have our pair of protagonists, that's Lucy and David, where David is a kid that comes from a rather rough neighborhood, and he just wants to be with his mom and wants to be accepted by the environment that he is in, but the city, throws huge curveballs to him, and from that point, we start the story.
Lucy is an Edgerunner, and we don't know much about her in the beginning, because she is very introvert. She doesn't like to talk about herself.
That combination of somebody that wants to be just happy and with the people that he loves, and a protagonist like Lucy, where there is a quite big thing looming over her from her past, but also she's also fighting for her freedom and for the choice of being loved and fighting for the people that she cares about. But also a story about finding the right people in your lives that matter to you and that you want to sacrifice yourself for.
The body modification, or the cyberware, how we call it, is the absolute fundament of cyberpunk. It's the reason of all things in cyberpunk world, right? In this world, everybody has cyberware, and the cyberware was supposed to be the biggest achievement of mankind, while it became its biggest curse, basically, right? So this technology has bring the society into this endless spiral of abuse and violence.
And I think what's interesting to explore both in the game but also in the anime is that this really gives you the opportunity to showcase how real people live in this world, with the added benefit of What happens if you have to actually chop your arm off to be able to work in a factory because that's necessary for you to do that? And what does it cost you on the human level, but also how does it change your stance within the society? And what we explore in Cyberpunk Edgerunners in that specific sense is that David attains a very cool cyberware at the start of the series, but it's a shortcut. And in the city where always the bill is due, how does it actually happen? And we want to kind of tag along for the ride to see how far can David push before something inevitable happens.
The tension is already here, right? The almost Mexican standoff that was in the game, and you have a feeling that the scene from the game was so iconic that they repeat the same stuff. But I don't think it's a copy, and we will see that in a moment that it's a dialogue with the game.
Absolutely. These guys are like showing off, yeah? This is like this style over substance, which is pretty important when it comes, and they live with that sentence. You know what I mean? That it's super important. Like they're showing off. They modify their body so heavily that they are on the edge of being a human.
One of the most important cyber in the whole anime, Sandevistan. I would say it's something like a bullet time, right?
Yeah.
That he slows down time. Maybe not he slows down time, but
he's faster than them, right?
than everybody. So they don't even see what he's doing, and that's why he saves Becca.
Exactly, it's their shot, yeah? Like this, the spine shot.
Yeah.
Here, it injects this adrenaline shot.
And the Sandevistan is on.
Exactly, like every single muscle, yeah? It just, you are faster, stronger, you see more things, and you can simply, you know, check your position, check your spot, hit first, and build advantage.
That's one of the best scenes. I love it so much that Lucy comes with the nanowire and cuts off Maelstrom's arms and hands, and that's crazy, and that's super stylish, and that's gory, and I love it. I could watch it forever.
And when she's literally chopping his hands, like, you know, like a salami, man, this is exactly the fantasia I wanted to achieve with nanoblades in the game, right? He really enjoys it, right? You can tell, yeah? And everyone is happy. It's like, we did it, cool.
And they're so cool about it.
Yep.
When I was playing the game, I was scared when I looked at Maelstrom gang. I was terrified because they are the most crazy gang in Night City. And I feel that the scene in the anime is like catharsis.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's that you can feel for the first time that they are not scary. If you have your gang of Edgerunners, you can cut them, you can kill them, you can turn them into the splash or pulp or anything. And it's so cool that it's so connected to the game, that Trigger plays with the audience and players' expectations.
CD プロジェクトレッドの皆さん、サイバーパンクエッジランナーズの紹介を世界にしてくださりありがとうございます。スタジオトリガーの社長の大塚です。
サイバーパンクエッジランナーズの監督の今石です。
エッジランナーズのキャラクターデザインをした吉成陽です。
サイバーパンクエッジランナーズがNetflixで9月からリリースされます。それまでの間に 僕らのインタビューが、Netflix の YouTube のチャンネルで見れるようになると思います。そちらもご期待ください。
僕も、ライブドローイングで、デイビッドとルーシーを描きますので、そちらもよろしくお願いします。
このギークドウィークで初めて公開されるサイバーパンクエッジランナーズの、新しいキーアートがあります。どうぞご覧ください。
それではサイバーパンクエッジランナーズ楽しみにしてください。ありがとうございます。